We are
Well,
technically going live now, which means that we've been live for 30 seconds, according to
it's,
the way YouTube
it's
works.
okay. Then you to talk to the audience as I go get my tea.
Yeah, well, you get your tea. I am going to, I'm going to talk about real quick the events of this past Wednesday, which, holy fuck, what the fuck is wrong with our goddamn country? Oh my god! Half our country is okay with this shit. Half is okay with an attempted goddamn coup. Ah! My god! I am not okay with this. I am not fucking happy. Okay. Now that's out of my system.
I guess since that was recorded live, I guess I'll have to go back to the beginning of this because I walked in and I'm hearing John yelling. I'm just like, I know John Brockman. He can say something in a tone where he's actually serious, but yet be like sarcastic. So, and it's about the Q
This
too.
is a little bit of both. I mean, hey, it's Tom. We don't yet have Tom on audio, but he's working it. He's joining us.
Can I?
Hey,
yes,
there you
is.
are.
Costume you here, hören?
Yes.
Yes.
Willst du Deutsch lernen?
Yes.
Du sprichst schlechte Deutsch.
Yes, you are doing it very, very shitty.
No, I do.
If only Conlise and Swansha were actually in the live chat, and then they will say like a comment on your German pronunciation.
Not just his pronunciation, but his grammar.
Mm-hmm.
Mine or yours?
Yours.
Yours
you asked
too.
us plural if we could individually hear you, and then you used the plural verb.
Yeah, but on yeah, you can say that because people can see this, and this is public. But what you did, how you fucked up so horribly, is only the insiders know.
Yes.
So you laugh at me all you want. We know.
I will. I absolutely will.
I know.
Don't mind me. I'm busy typing out something to
You're sharing the stream. I know.
Mm-hmm.
But fucking Wednesday, god damn! The Capitol Police demonstrated that they do know how not to use excessive force
Yes.
on protesters. Funny how the protesters in this case happen to be heavily armed white people storming the Capitol.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I did hear though that the National Guard at least was said that their part of their lackluster response was that they were responding to the feedback they got for fucking up the BLM. How badly they treated BLM earlier, and they were trying to be less evil.
As I understand, the National Guard was refused several times.
Well, yeah, I'm saying I'm not saying that I didn't. I'm not apologizing for them. I'm saying this is their whitewash, part of their whitewash.
A fucking coup in the national capital. I mean, I'm not saying I'm a big fan of national governments. I am saying that I'm a big fan of not replacing national governments with fascist white supremacist governments.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and so yeah, it's a funny thing. It's like not too often. Most of the times at work, people will say, "Hey, John, how are you?" And it's like, "How's your day?" I'll be like, "Oh, it's good." And Wednesday, my response to like, "How's my day?" was, "I'm watching the news," and everyone was just like, "Yeah." But I love so Eric Allen, a friend of mine on Facebook, like tagged me into like a screenshot, which is why I said it. And when I'm announcing the stream on like the various different platforms, due to travel restrictions this year, America is organizing coups at home.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes.
Although we did fund, or we've started to fund one overseas in Venezuela.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We authorized, what was it, like $30 million for refugees?
Mm,
Was Bolivia last year or
Bolivia was
2019?
2019.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello, Jamie.
Hey, Jamie.
Hey.
Jamie.
It's been a while since you've been on here, Jamie.
Yeah, it has. Have y'all been?
Same as always, and yes, that bad.
Oh wow, scary.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw it. It probably showed up on the video, but I scared my cat, I'm sad to say. By screaming about the events on Wednesday.
That's so rude. Why would you do that?
Well,
I
it
mean,
was.
There's
I
no
was
reason
upset.
to involve other species. I mean, this is pretty
I
much
would have. I would have
homo.
spared them both if I could have. But
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
It's limited space. I would have had to go outside. It's cold outside, or chilly.
Cold outside.
I wouldn't say it's cold. It's chilly outside.
I'm sorry. When I hear "Cold Outside," I think of the Red Dwarf like opening theme song. That's just me, and then how I'm easily.
Oh, I thought you were
programmable I
singing
am.
the kind of rapey song from the 50s.
Oh, baby, it's cold outside, right?
Yeah, that was the one that came to mind for me too.
Mm-hmm.
This one,
I mean, gotta be honest, it wasn't necessarily super rapey. It's just that back then, in order to be able to willingly have sex, women had to pretend not to want to have sex. Meaning that men could legitimately be confused about whether somebody wanted to have sex. I really hate white culture.
Yes, again, let's cancel white people, ban whiteness.
Yeah, if there had been no white people, there would have been no coup attempt on the Capitol. Because I'm pretty sure there were no brown people storming the Capitol on Wednesday.
I didn't see any.
I mean, if there had been, they would have been shot. I mean, that's pretty much guaranteed.
Yes.
That's why the Capitol Police didn't shoot anyone, is because there were no brown people there.
Well, they shot one person.
They did.
They did shot one person.
A woman.
They were reduced to shooting a white woman, which is I'm certain was.
I'm sure he felt very bad about it afterward, but I mean, I'm pretty sure the other cops asked him, what she did to make him angry, and they said, "Okay, that makes sense."
Yeah. Ku Klux Klan. I love
Ku Klux Klan. Yes.
Oh, Ku Klux Klan. I see.
And I see Joe noticed also that they were ordered to stay out of D.C., but they were stationed in Kenosha to protect white people there and from backlash by black people if for failure to charge the shooter. And
according to Andrew Torres of Opening Arguments, the energy in the Department of Justice is find and prosecute these fuckers yesterday.
Yeah.
They have attorneys all over the place in the DOJ requesting, like, hey, give me special deputy status. I will prosecute the fuck out of these guys. Because it turns out endangering rich white people is what it takes to get rich white people off their asses.
Rich white people in power, in political power.
Yes.
Rich white Gay people, maybe not so much. Rich white tech people,
Rich white Latinos.
The tech people. Oh yeah.
Rich white oil barons. Well, that's the other side, though. That's
Yeah.
the other side of the coin.
This week has been annoying, not least because of the difficulty in how to respond to learning that a woman was trampled to death in an attempted coup while carrying a "Don't Tread on Me" flag.
Sorry. I didn't mean to step on your line.
It's okay, Tom. It's.
I get the next. Well, I'll take the next one just for that, which is in how to respond to a fellow who came to a peaceful demonstration, carrying a taser for obviously self-protection in a crowd of people who agree with tased. Yep. Thank you for jumping on my line. Appreciate it. Hey, now we're even.
Okay. No, I did some research there. I haven't been able to confirm that what's his name from Georgia, Kevin, actually tased himself in the balls to death. I hope it's true. Oh, because that would be so right wing. Carrying lethal weapons and tasing your ball sack to death.
Carrying it in your fucking pocket. What the hell is he doing carrying it in his front pocket?
Well,
They
I
have
mean, it's not like
holsters.
there's a
They
holster
have
for
coats.
a taser.
No, that's right. That's right. What? That's just,
Hey.
that's just bad trigger discipline.
Okay, now
And no, David, we're not talking about very white people. No.
And David, I appreciate the comparison, but Tom is not Walter Brimley.
That's right.
But if he could say diabetes, that would be awesome.
And Marty Affinati is correct. Parlor is going down soon. Gab is barely working because yes, Wednesday was so bad that Twitter first finally locked the real Donald Trump's account, and it was going to be on a 12-hour suspension, but Donald Trump had to first to delete like 3 tweets that like were inciting violence, as it were, which is definitely a public safety, as it were. And listen, leftists, I don't care about we shouldn't celebrate Donald Trump being like permanently suspended from Twitter because that happened the next day, and he's been permanently suspended from YouTube and and Fox and Facebook.
He should have been kicked off Twitter a decade ago for his racist, vile bullshit.
Yes.
Yeah.
If he weren't a celebrity white guy, he would have been.
Yeah, but no, I'm a proof of Twitter should have done it sooner because Donald Trump was a threat to safety. Chestnuts roasting on open fire.
I'm sorry. Chestnuts roasting on open fire.
It's no longer Christmas season, Yoey. No good.
That is that's good. That's good. I like that. That's a hat moment.
I already have my hat on. Should I switch my hat?
Yes, you should.
Well, you probably could. You have more than one, don't you?
Yes. Another fine hat.
I have another hat here. If I run out of, this one.
I just thought I was already wearing my nice cowboy hat that you put on your Terry Pratchett hat, and so it's just like
actually, I'm sorry, Yoey, but in honor of Julie, who is not here, I'm gonna have to put you in timeout for that one. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
Yet you're going to sing the line that you got Joey put in a timeout for.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
These nuts roasting on an open phaser.
So no Julie right now, and I know
She
Mehmet,
is not feeling well, so she's not going to be joining us today.
but
She
Julie
just
just showed up in
joined
the
us.
She's in
chat.
the chat. Yay!
Yeah, she joined us.
But so it's early enough in the podcast. Let's get ready to thank our patrons.
Oh, yeah. I should open up that window.
We just
Talk
mentioned
about
you.
you
That's
because
all.
we love you.
We love you, Julie. Yes, according to
I
cis
just like you
men,
as a friend,
penises are
Julie.
naturally independent.
Okay.
Okay.
So, our patrons. First up, we have Yemi Yay, who has joined us in the live stream and has said almost nothing.
She said some. They said some things.
And then we have Yuli, who is in the chat, but is not joining us today.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And
not
then
yet,
we have
anyway.
Marty. Thank you, Marty. And Ellie, joining
Thank
us
you,
from
Ellie.
Denmark. And Yo.
Thank you, Yo, who's in the chat.
And Mylan. Julie, yell for Mylan.
Thank you, Mylan.
Oh yes, thank you.
Then we got a couple of fuckboys.
Yes, Johnny Cakes is my name, but fuck boys is also acceptable.
You and Mehmet.
And yes,
then we have Tim. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you, Tim.
And then we have Von Rex. Stay gay, Von Rex.
Yes, thank you all for making this all possible. You help pay for the Zoom subscription and the Buzz
Zoom and Buzzsprout, and then I pay a couple of other people on Patreon.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And Marty says that I think you should go through the list alphabetically.
I could, but actually, could I?
My first or last name.
I could go through it by name. Yes, I could, but instead, I don't. But I could go through it by name, in which case Marty would still, I think, be in exactly the same spot. Almost exactly the same spot, Marty. So don't get too. Actually, no. Marty would. Oh! I don't want to call you out, Marty, but there's a reason you're up near the top when we don't go alphabetically. Oh, wow! Way to call yourself out there, Marty. Wow, dude.
So yeah, Wednesday. Also, I shared this Meme was like shared to me, and then I shared it out of my social media because the police, the Capitol Police colluding with like a fascist terrorist, white rebels, so shocked face. While everyone else, this is America. Yeah. Because it's not only that the police were like treating the fascist terrorists with kid gloves, and they apparently had no intelligence on this happening whatsoever, which is they're not listening to the anti-fascists that are following the white supremacists at all.
Ben Garrison, the shitty cartoonist who thinks Trump has muscles, knew about this shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
How did they use
drew a cartoon, one of his evil cartoons about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
which got changed quite humorously to a much more appropriate cartoon.
Let's see if I can dig those both up.
Show the second one.
Marty joined Grab and Power. Of course, I like to punish myself. But the thing is also like,
don't you have to give them your social security number to be on Parler?
Oh.
No, you don't have to be on the site, but you do have to verify in order to verify your account, which prevents you from being really, really easy to ban.
Gotcha.
The Capitol Police were also taking selfies with like the other like protesters, and opened the barricades to let the like fascists, like the terrorists, not protesters, fascist terrorists, into close to the Capitol. And from what I heard, I haven't confirmed this, is that like one of the protesters flashed their badge, as in like, hey, I'm
The one who died, the one who got shot, because she was a former cop.
Oh,
She was Air Force.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that makes sense.
Well, yeah, what Joey was saying there was that off-duty cops were there and they were flashing badges. There were also, I don't know if they were active duty, but there were service, armed service folks who were there. I don't know if they're just off duty or on leave, or if they were retired, but there were service folks that came that were flashing their credentials to say, hey, I'm okay, I'm one of you, I'm white, or entitled somehow.
Yeah. And so it's just like, again, if you listen to like anyone that's like a left of center or anti-fascist, they can tell you that like, no, we all predict this is going to happen. We're still a bit shocked at the events itself, but like surprised, no. And
well, there's no reason that anybody should have been surprised, and I really doubt that the people involved were surprised. They might have been surprised by the number of people and by the intensity, but they shouldn't have been surprised that there was going to be unpleasant people making a big noise, and these people have a history of violence. So that should have been.
So if you look on the stream, you will now be able to see the Ben Garrison cartoon that was altered. This is the original. Shows some dude wearing a MAGA cap and a shirt that says "Stop the Steal," carrying an American flag that also has Trump's face on it. And he's really, really big in a crowd of people with Trump won, Keep America Great, Trump flag, American flag, Trump flag, Drain the Swamp, a Gadsden flag, lifting the dome off the Capitol saying, "Can you hear us now?" to Pelosi, Pence, and it's probably McConnell.
Yeah,
it's got to be McConnell because he's a turtle. And according to Ben Garrison, what's his name is officially a traitor.
Oh, yeah, McConnell Pence actually has got a turtle back.
Yeah, McConnell does have a turtle.
Actually turtle.
Now, the way it has been altered, which you'll see in a few seconds, all the flags have been changed to "Come," C-U-M. And the hat is "Come," and the t-shirt is "Come," and the guy lifting the dome off the Capitol says, "Give us the come." Because that is about as sensible as "Do you hear us now?" The goddamn maggots are fucking... I don't like Republicans. I do not.
But yet I just saw this come across my Facebook feed today. Just a tweet from like The Hill, probably an article as well, that President-elect Joe Biden, we need a Republican Party. We need opposition that's strong and principled. And I'm like, do we really need fascists?
I mean, fascists kind of have principles, so we have
just
that
terrible
now.
ones.
Yeah.
This is a snake flag. I think we did notice that. It's sort of art of come. Why did I read that out loud?
Let's see. Look closely at the snake. I can't see it. Looks like a dog fucking another dog.
Yeah, so like how they're principled, I don't know. They're principled to like defend things for like white people, both parties, honestly.
Rich people.
Rich white people. Yeah. the Democrats more with more of diversity in the rich people that they like to find.
The Libertarian Party is more principled than the Republicans, comrade D-Quack, in that they have principles. The Republican Party is just fascist. Fascists don't really have principles. All they care about is power.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and the Libertarian Party, I think, does understands that they're not going to have power,
No.
so they get to have principles instead. If they got power, they would lose a whole lot of principles.
You can have power or you can have principles. That's a pretty good dichotomy there, Tom.
yeah.
Right, Joe. Every
Yeah,
elected
that's a good point.
Republican needs to be removed if they encourage these assholes. I just before we came on, I saw Young Turk's blurb short video that showed what's his name, Louis Gohmert on I think Newsmax.
I forgot that today was going to be the second Sunday, so I'm going to go ahead and open up the stream to everybody.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So I just posted the link in the chat, and if you're an asshole, I'll block you. But in the meantime, you were saying, Tom, about
just that he was Gohmert was saying that talking about the court cases that that everybody on the right, all the Republicans were losing these fucking court cases about the steal of the election and how it was so bad, and there's no all the courts were saying there's no evidence, and he said out loud, we're going to have to take to the streets and be violent like BLM. And I thought, well, if you're violent like BLM, I'm okay with that, because
BLM is nonviolent.
Right. Well, there is some in reaction, but not. There's not a lot of instigation from BLM. So if they were like that, if they were just standing outside the Capitol,
hey, it's Yo.
That would be fine.
World's okayest white guy, Joe? Can't tell what it says under okayest.
Oh, world's okayest.
Oh, okayest brother.
Oh,
okay.
Oh,
that is totally a shirt a brother would get you.
Yes. I'm not sure my younger brother would give that to me,
because you're an anarchist and he is a gamer.
A Trump supporter.
Yeah.
Yes, he is like a complaint about this is censorship. Donald Trump did not incite violence on Twitter. And you have to get banned from Twitter. They're banning Gabe, and it's just so yeah, I'm not talking to him about this.
I saw a copy pasta from a Trump supporter that was like, "Oh, he's the worst president ever, but he exposed all the corruption. He brought out all the criminals. He did all the wonderful things. He's the best president with the least support."
He did bring out all the corruption and all the criminals. He brought them into the administration, and he did them.
Yeah, he employed them. He's pardoning them right the fuck now.
Yeah.
Well, but they're in the open now.
Another cop. Oh, I only heard about the one.
That was probably the biggest sign that he honestly doesn't think that he won the election, when he started to pardon everyone because he knew he wouldn't be able to later.
Yeah.
Because he knew that pardoning bigoted war criminals and corrupt cronies would hurt his re-election chances.
Exactly.
Sorry, but Marty, do you have any more information about that?
The only cop I had heard about was, I think his name is Brian Sicknick.
The one that was bludgeoned to death with a
he was mobbed to death, basically.
Yeah. I think I heard something about another policeman being killed.
Another one,
outside
yes.
the Capitol.
Oh no, this one died by suicide. Oh my. So trigger warning for that.
Where do you see that?
I have this at Forbes, actually. A second U.S. Capitol Police officer has died since Wednesday's storming of Congress. Initially announced as an off-duty death, he died by suicide.
I think there was at least 4 deaths the day of that thing, and there's also like a lot of rest. But also
5 altogether that I knew about.
Okay, 5.
A 15-year veteran of the force, he was among those responding to the rioting at the Capitol.
Yeah, that is actual riot, not instigated by the cops. Unlike all the BMM protests that turned into riots because they were instigated by the cops.
This is the second death of a USCP officer in just 2 days. Yeah, it is not necessarily directly connected with the rioting, but people are making the connection.
Yes, I have Crack. I've also seen that happen as well because of the people. Some like they would share. Oh, look, this guy actually like has his like work badge on him as he's storming the Capitol, and get fired because of that, as well as like anyone else that was like maskless, and people are like, wait a minute, who's this? Who's this?
Your dad's not the only one with whack ass theories, Comrade D-Quack.
Hello, Mithro. Because people think it must be Antifa. And as I said yesterday on Marty Afnasty's The Tea Party, I bet the Proud Boys that stormed the Capitol would hate it if like they've been called Antifa on Facebook by other right wingers. But yeah, suicide. You're right, Julie. Suicide is not fun. Marty Afnasty has a tech talk, give us a link to a tech talk though. I think
here comes Mithril again, giving it another shot. I'll go ahead and rename.
I see a bunch of TikToks. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a link to a TikTok thing. The 5 news posts are from Trump here talking about what's next. Oh,
yeah, they are LARPing on the 19th.
Oh, that's right, because that's the
day before inauguration.
Yeah.
19th, the 20th, the 21st. If the Capitol Police aren't prepared for those 3 days, then they have no fucking excuse. They should have known about the 6th.
No kidding.
Should have known about the 6th, yeah, since they did like slow down the confirmation, but I think it's like they had to like reconvene, exit the Capitol, and then came back the night of to like confirm the vote.
Everyone who was objecting to the goddamn election results should be kicked out.
Does anyone know if after the delay, if the senators still went through with their contesting the vote?
Some of them did, some of them didn't. What's her name? The crooked bitch from Georgia, Loeffler.
Oh, Loeffler.
She decided to change from objecting to not objecting. But a number of people continued to object. Some people did not.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to find out if the illustrious senator from the state of Wisconsin did or not.
Yeah, I think he backed out. I think he might have done that before though. I don't know I think he was not going to object on the day anyway, but I might be wrong about that.
But everyone who was planning to object beforehand should be refused a seat in either house now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Trump should be impeached, and Mike Pence should continue to get pegged by Mother. Because I can only assume that is their relationship.
Okay.
Because Mike Pence, the way he feels about gay people, he must absolutely be a bottom. He is totally a bottom bitch. He's not gay. He's just a bottom bitch. Sorry, you can't.
I have no comment. Mm-hmm. I have no comment on that. Let's see. So yes, what else is happened in regards to like this past this week and all? That's the thing. It's like a lot of people were calling for the 25th and then impeachment. I think it's like, there should be like
we could force impeachment through in a couple of days if we wanted to.
True. Yeah,
25th
exactly.
Amendment is the one that would take longer. I think it requires waiting 2 weeks for the president to respond.
No,
Oh, yeah,
no, it doesn't.
No?
25th Amendment, if I think the vice president and a large enough and a majority of the cabinet agree, they can do it. They can take him out right away. He has, I think, 4 days. He has a certain amount of time, not very long, to object and to say he is ready to come back to work. And then
That's what I'm saying. I think he has a
So,
week or two to object.
No.
It's
less than that.
It is a 2-stage thing to be removed permanently, but with the 25th, he would be removed temporarily immediately.
Right. And then even if he objected, there would be, if the cabinet still thought he was not able to come back, he would, I think there was a 4-day period where the cabinet could still keep him from occupying the office if they wanted to. They could let him back right away, but they could do that. And then there is a period of there's a word for it, appeal. The
Probation.
can appeal. But as I understand, I did hear rumblings that that there were the Pence and the other cabinet members were talking to each other about it. Then I also heard a report the other day that said no, Pence did not talk to any cabinet members about it.
And yet there's also rumors that Pence was the one who was in charge on the day, last Wednesday, because Trump was incommunicado or something. Even though Pence doesn't officially have any authority to do anything.
Yeah, because like, was the National Guard actually finally called in on like Wednesday? Because like, it's only the president that has the authority to call in the National Guard.
I think the National Guard can be called in. I'm sorry, my cat is up in the blinds.
The National Guard can be called in by the president or by state governors.
But DC is not a state.
Oh,
So
yeah. Well,
it's
in
only
that
the
case, potentially, surrounding states governors could do so.
Yeah, I think that
maybe
more
or Congress. As I understand, though, the National Guard requested several times to go in and were denied permission.
Oh,
I also understand that and this is all understanding and it's secondhand and in fluid situation.
We've all got rumors at this point.
Yeah. But there was also, I think, a more strong rumor that I think it was a governor of one of the states, I think Maryland, asked the National Guard to go in, and they refused.
And I also have heard that there was a number of requests in the days beforehand by various people who knew that shit was going to go down. Requests for additional authority, additional security, and that those requests were denied. By basically Trump.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Trump actually beforehand did ask for a small contingent of National Guard to be there, basically to protect him and to make sure that his protesters were unimpeded to the Capitol. But he refused the force to go in and stop his assholes.
They were the real Americans. That's where, and it's just like
his coup army for his attempted coup.
Yeah, exactly, because that's what it was. I've heard from others, and I can believe that it happened, that like mainstream media was somehow calling these people like anarchists, or throwing a lot of words to like define who they are, and just like, no, they are not anarchists, because all they did when they bust through the doors was like sit on like the desk, or like take one of the podiums or the pictures and stuff like that. If they were anarchists, they were trying to form a new governance or something like that, or set a constitution of some kind.
Anarchists would have actually overthrown the existing government, not supported the existing government.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you know they're not anarchists.
Well,
Anarchists would not be supporting Trump.
Well, if they were BLM protesters, they would also have been shot if they tried to breach the Capitol building.
Yeah,
they would not have like gotten.
There would have
near
been
the
more
building.
brown people and queer people. Any
Yeah,
brown
same-
people and queer people.
Yeah, especially if there were leftists too. There would be more diversity there as well.
Any.
And it would be actually wearing masks because of the pandemic
Mhm.
sort of thing.
The only masks that the fuckers on Wednesday were wearing were the skull masks of the Atomwaffen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yep,
I
not
didn't see
surprised.
that, but that does not surprise
That
me.
now I'm saying that if they were wearing masks, I
If
haven't
they were
seen
wearing-
any masks.
Oh, okay.
But if they had been wearing masks, it would have been the Atomwaffen.
Yes, and like D-Crack mentioned earlier in chat that like because of like the events of Wednesday, DC is pushing for statehood so that like they can be a state and then call in the National Guard when an event like this happen. It's always been like on a thing for give DC statehood anyway, because they kind of like
They
vote.
need
They have like
some sort of independence from the federal government.
exactly, yeah.
They need
it'll
not
give,
beholden to Congress.
Yeah, exactly. It will give 2 more senators. It will give like 3 more electoral votes, and like it'll be a diverse black voting population as well. So yeah, and so that's why people are pushing for that to be happening in Biden's first 100 days as well.
Yeah, that and Puerto Rico.
And Puerto Rico, well, Puerto
And
Rico,
Puerto Rico, I think Guam, but basically everyone we can, all the brown people we can.
Mm-hmm. Puerto Rico, I think if like they want independence, I think they should get independence if they want it. Yes,
Independence or statehood, whatever they want.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing with like American Samoa, Guam, and the other
Independence,
territories.
statehood, and like $100 billion in apology money, because they have been economically fucked.
What, Guam or Puerto Rico?
Yes.
Puerto Rico, for sure.
Yes. 100 billion is not going to.
World's okayest, yes, ma'am.
100 billion isn't going to do it for Puerto Rico, though. That's going to barely
Probably
cover
not,
the infrastructure that they got fucked over by business.
We let them go, and we build fuck tons of highways and ports.
Yeah, they need that.
And ignore their debt.
Yes,
Forgive
yeah,
all
There
the
we
debt.
go. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and forgive it. And,
What
and
debt?
talk
There
to
is
the,
no debt. I don't know what you're talking about. I mean,
Well,
We should-
a lot of the debt is to private companies.
no, there isn't.
so-
Shut up, Tom.
Well, no, I'm saying it would be nice just to be able to say, well,
We'll assume and then forgive.
you-
Sasha.
yeah,
their debt.
you've made all the money you're going to make out of Puerto Rico. So
Stolen.
Be happy with the huge profit you made from a poor territory, and go away. That would be nice to say.
Or even better, reclaim some of that stolen money to be used to rebuild their infrastructure.
Fucking commie.
That would be good. Yeah.
Tell you what, let's nationalize Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. Just take all their money, guillotine both. No, don't guillotine them. Let them live in poverty in Puerto Rico. And use their money to rebuild Puerto Rico.
Now, a topic that came up. So last night, Corey Johnson, our friend, who was a guest on our show, and I was actually a guest on his show, but that's not out yet. So sorry, Corey, if you dropped something that should not have been revealed yet.
I feel so slighted.
Well, of course, I'm looking for guests, so you can like say, "Hey, I'm a leftist," and like I can.
It's okay. I mean,
but like so last night, and also not last night, Friday night, but also like Saturday, he got on a bunch of like his former co-hosts and his friends from the Brainstorm podcast and to re-listen to like old shows. On that Friday night stream, Lisa asked a question because they know the Corey Johnston Anarcho-Communists, and they're cool like that. That's you're for like defunding the police and abolishing the police, but how would the police or a police-less society respond to the events of Wednesday, as it were? Which I think is a worthy. Well, that's the thing. I think one thing is just like if it's an anarchist society and a policeless society, we're more vigilant. We'd be more vigilant about like anti-fascism. If we know that there's like a brewing fascist like coup attempt like that we would have like a militias, and that would be my answer. We have militias to defend when needed, and Wednesday would have been the time that when needed. But like, no, we wouldn't have like a standing police force or a standing army because we wouldn't need that. But if fascists are like threatening our safety and so, yes,
we would be aware of the threats to come, and we would prepare for them. Yeah.
My understanding is a lot of the people that would have counter protested there decided not to because they were afraid that the state would be supporting the
Capitol Police usually goes after the people who were on the other side, the people who were protesting on Wednesday.
Go ahead, Tom.
Okay. I would have avoided going there. Well, first out of self-preservation, but second, because with facial recognition technology and people on the lookout for people that were not wearing Trump hats, there would be people would, because there are pictures of everything. That people would find pictures of me and these other folks and would say, well, look, they were in the crowd too, so they were the instigators.
So
I'd like to stay
communist dog mom or socialist dog mom was in the crowd there, and she reported being worried about that.
But another thing is just like if one thing is like about abolishing the police. It's the 8 steps process. A lot of things are happening, but it's also revolved around changing society, as it were. Not only so that way we stop thinking of like the justice as punitive, but actually think of it as restorative. But also so that everyone has all their basic needs met. And won't have to resort to like crime to have to like feed their family or like feed themselves.
Once you resolve poverty, then you will have largely resolved crime, and the only people left then will be the ones who actually need to be segregated from society at large, and even then they can be dealt with humanely. We don't need to treat them like animals or monsters.
And I don't know, personally, I'm not even against having a group of people who are paid and that are trained in conflict resolution and de-escalating situations and crowd control to be there doing that job the same way that, security at a concert is hired to do that. Or, or bouncers at a bar doing that.
The Pelian principles of policing are that you're just doing the job of a citizen full time.
Yeah,
you're paid to be
special
a
authority. That they have no special authority to get away with doing crimes or being held accountable for their actions while they are protecting the venue or
Oh yes, that's right. Mariarte does bring up something because I have seen some of Angie Speaks Like Shit posts as well.
Julie, I might want to pet some prisoners. I'm not saying it's my kink, but
I gotta look at the thing.
Well, I've seen a couple of episodes of Orange Is the New Black, and I would Never mind.
I would pet the pussy. I'll go.
See, I never minded, and you went there anyway.
I doubled down. Yeah, that's how I do.
I don't need to say the horrible things because I know you'll say them for me.
This is going to be an explicit tag on the podcast, isn't it?
I never put the explicit tag in the podcast. Fuck Apple and their bullshit.
Listeners, listen at your own risk. Okay, children, please.
The only time I put a warning is if we're talking about abuse or suicide. I never put a warning for sex. Fuck sex. Sex is good. Sex is a good thing. Consensual sex is a good thing. Yeah.
Sex implies consent.
True.
Yes.
If it's not consensual,
it's not
consensual.
really sex. It's not. Yeah.
I remember it being all right.
Oh, that was.
You have a son, so at least once. Yeah.
That was a fantastic dry read, Tom. That was very good.
Very well done.
It's my job.
No, unfortunately, we can't time out the streamer, so we can mute. Can't we mute? John Brockman?
I can mute any of you. I don't think you can mute me.
No, I can't mute John Brockman. I'm sorry.
Here, just for the I can mute myself. There.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you did it in OBS. No,
that's-
now John Brockman's now actually muted. So, oh, great audio, great radio, as it were.
Now I have to come up with a really bad pun or something and be like, you know what? I'm just going to save you the trouble and mute myself.
Yeah, I don't know.
It'll
Yeah.
take some thought.
John Brockman, you're still muted in the. We can't hear you, John. So, you know that you can. We can't hear you. Wait. Well, can
now
you
everybody
hear
can
us?
hear me. And hi, Adam. Punk rocker Adam Rainstopper has joined us in the chat.
Have any of y'all noticed the number of leftist, using that term charitably, leftist advocates on various media platforms right now? Very, very, very concerned about what it means for leftists that now Nazis are getting banned as well as the leftists. How terrible of a thing this could be.
Yeah,
Are you talking about Deathbox and British Brown Witch?
Yeah, and Maupin and several people in that sphere.
I am not
of
concerned
Nosvality.
about their opinions because they're dipshits.
Yeah, that's an excellent response. I just Marty brought it up in chat, and yeah, I wasn't sure if we were going to touch on it.
I had noticed it. Sorry, Marty. I was too busy muting.
I did notice that. I mentioned it.
But yeah, Deathbox and Brown Speaks, and frankly, there's a lot of people who call themselves leftists who I'm not sure where they stand. Are they Nosballs or are they just liberals milking it? I don't get it. But either way, their opinions don't mean too much to me.
Yeah, my favorite is how many of their takes come down to just accusing everybody that isn't them of everything that they do.
Which is honestly a very right
projection is
thing
strong.
to do.
A little bit, yeah. It's almost like they might be some kind of conservative liberal and just not aware of it.
I'm a conservative liberal, but I'm poor, therefore I'm leftist.
Exactly. Except wait, a lot of them aren't, which
Not
is even more
anymore.
complicated. Like Maupin.
I have no idea
Oh,
who
yeah.
Maupin is.
Oh, Callan Malfin.
Caleb Maupin is someone who is I believe hired by like RT or something.
Yeah.
to-
Grifters.
Yeah.
Excellent word, Julie. Grifters. That's the
Yeah,
word I was looking
grifters.
for.
I don't even know for sure they're grifters, but they definitely are authoritarian, which is doesn't necessarily make them right. It just means that they agree with the right on all the worst sort of things.
And maybe they're like, what's her nuts? Black trader girl Candace Owens. High on their own supply. Maybe they've been doing it long enough they believe the bullshit. I don't know.
Yeah, it's so Maupin also has explicitly gone to conferences dedicated to discussing certain ethnicities and their bankerishness.
Jesus Christ.
He's worried.
So-
There's a question he was wanting to ask.
Puerto
And he
Ricans
wanted to
again.
make it the last one.
Yeah, it was very important to him that we address a given question. So
That
yeah, no,
the
he's
the
he's red
solution
fashed.
to that question was the final one.
yes, yeah.
The Puerto Rican question. I'm with you. I think
We really need to figure out how to empower that nation as much as possible.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What does Nazbol mean?
National
National
Bolshevik.
Bolshevik.
National Bolshevik? So
Mhm.
Stalinist?
They're not Nazis,
No,
but they're Nazis.
Yeah, it's a portmanteau of Nazi and
Bolshevik.
Bolshevik, basically.
Okay.
Just
Like
as
the
Nazi
enemies
is a
in the,
portmanteau of national and socialist.
And socialist, yeah.
Like the enemy in the McBain movie from The Simpsons.
The Nazbols are tankies. They love the USSR. They love
They're
the
not
idea
even
of
just
socialism,
tankies.
but they want the authoritarianism too.
They want straight up like fascism. They just want it painted red.
Mhm. They want
Okay, well, they
fascism.
sound-
They
without
want
the
red
Christianity.
stars on every brown jacket.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, they sound like people to avoid.
Yeah. They're douche canoes. They're shoe on head.
Oh yes. And
Oh yeah,
also-
Shuan Head is one of them now. She's hanging around that group now.
Yeah, she
that
went
group, yes.
from orange shirt fascist to Nazbol fascist.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, also I saw that terrible take as well. It was the exchange between Sean Head and Ash Coffin of because there was a guy, we haven't mentioned him, the shaman or something like that, that was all dressed up like a LARPer, I swear, with the fur, the war paint, and
Oh,
so
yeah.
on.
The QAnon shaman.
The Kumon shaman, yeah, that's it. And then he was like, they were kind of like, I know it's wrong, but I have certain fantasies involving this person, and I'm like, bad timing, too soon. Feel a little uncomfortable with that, but I don't follow them on Twitter anyway.
Isn't Ash Coffin divorcing Deathbox?
Oh, I didn't.
I think he.
Yeah,
I think she
they
did already.
about a year ago that happened.
A year
Yeah,
ago.
It's been
Yeah,
quite a while
yeah.
since I've seen anything with both of them.
It was
Not that I followed them.
right before I ended up talking about some the problematic circumstances under which
The fact that he was
they
predating her.
They-
They were predating her. Yes, sorry.
yeah they the problematic circumstances under which they as far as I can tell essentially groomed her. Part of the reason why it was brought up and why I was so frustrated by it is because of the fact that they were on the prowl again. So and that was probably why they threatened me when I did.
Yeah.
A much sadder divorce. Hey, Marty, Martha.
You made it. Maybe.
Hey, Martha.
Yes.
Maybe if the audio
Woo.
works.
Woohoo!
Hey.
Oh, the audio does work.
All
A
right.
much sadder divorce happening recently.
David
Uh,
A.R. White and his wife.
No, that's a happy divorce. I was talking
Oh,
about
probably
Steve
for her.
Shives.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Don't know
Uh,
about that one, but
Yeah, that's
much love to both of them.
Yes.
I kind of wondered about that when Steven Stuffy wasn't coming out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
actually
Yeah.
what I assumed as
She-
well.
She does so many of the voices, and
Mhm.
honestly, the voices that I love. You know,
Yeah.
it's gonna
The
be
cat,
a big.
the husky, the other
Squirrel.
husky, yeah, squirrel.
Yeah,
Oh my
Millicent,
god.
Squirrel. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Squirrel, Millicent, and Willem Nina. But also the thing is like Ashley did own some of those like stuffed animals. So and because she owns them, it was yeah.
The
it's
fact
like-
is that I can't imagine, regardless of how the divorce came about, that they would ever be so shitty as to fuck up the show.
Yeah,
So
well,
I would
that's the
imagine
thing,
that
though.
that he put the show on hiatus because they're dealing with that.
He
and
said
he
that
has to find a way to figure it out.
Yeah, he said he's
Mm.
going to come out with a redesigned show.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So-
there's going to be some new characters, it sounds.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Is
I
that
mean,
what you've
it is
all
his
heard, or-
favorite
Yes.
thing
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
Mhm.
He has to keep doing. I wanted to keep doing it, but
It's my favorite thing he does. So
Well,
I
as,
hope he does.
as long as he doesn't get rid of Jack and
He
Toby
got rid
Benson.
of. He
No,
got rid of. Nope, Toby's gone.
Because
Toby's gone?
Ashley
Yeah.
owns the stuffed animal that is Toby Benson.
oh,
Yes.
So I can no longer horn dog over that horn dog.
You know what? You know what? I think we ought to start a campaign so we can fund a new Toby Benson.
Buy a
Maybe
identical
we
toy
can-
for Steve Shives.
Start a Patreon just to get her to continue to do
No.
the voices. Maybe we can set up a
No.
separate thing. Set up a
A
profit sharing
GoFundMe for-
arrangement. You know,
I
We
don't
can-
want to
we
get in the
can-
middle of that.
Ugh.
I don't
She
A
want
can-
to-
GoFundMe for
I would
stuffed
totally,
animals.
I would totally go in like $20 a month Patreon just for her to keep doing the voices.
Well-
She can have every other weekend.
I'm talking about my friend's divorce and I'm laughing, but but he's cool. It's been like months, as it were. He just like finally announced it like 2 weeks ago, as it
Yeah,
were. Which,
yeah.
but I agree with Joe. I was just like, why is okay? I know life events happen, which is why Patreon Hangout was canceled, and then background change and no Steven Stuffy. So I kind of suspected things and like didn't say anything publicly because of course now that would be a douchey thing for me to do. And but yet not, so I was like not surprised. My heart's out to Steve because despite our political differences, I still like Steve a lot. And like
Steve
I
is
know
a
he's
good
not
guy.
gonna be
His
an
heart is in the right place, even if his politics
Yes.
aren't. Yeah.
well, that's the thing. And Jamie, you can like speak to this actually. So like he's probably done more for like anarchist practice and leftist practice than like actual self-identified anarchists as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. I
Definitely a
can't-
hell of a lot more than Christy Winters.
God.
Oh, I
Uh,
don't know. She's such a hero. She's such an anarchist hero.
Yeah.
Don't make me mute.
But no, Steve has done a lot of great work, a lot of
Mhm.
great advocacy. He supports organizations in his community. Like, yeah, no,
He does a
can't
lot of
say-
anarchist practice, I think.
oh yeah,
Even
for
though
sure.
he
like,
doesn't-
I can't say that I disagree with the activism he does, even if
Mhm.
we don't agree
Yeah,
on
even just
Well-
the mutual aid on it, even just the mutual aid on his shows that he directs through John. You know,
He does,
This would
I
be a
think,
great
a lot
time
of
to,
anarchist stuff, even if he doesn't realize it, I think.
This would be
He
a
is
good time to
anarchist, even
promote
though
the
he doesn't
charity
know
links.
it. He's in the anarchist closet.
it's true.
Anarcho-closetist.
I feel like Martha has a point. This would be a excellent time to pimp the charity links.
Yes,
HTTP
charitylinks.page.
Yes,
There it
charitylinks.page. Charity links, and thank you, Marty, for giving that URL as well. Yeah, so yeah, because I should revamp that to and make it look nicer, because obviously it's just like paste, and like this thing, and I write a little thing. So I should make it nicer, but right now it's still there, still the same Google Doc, and yeah, I gotta actually focus and do work on that. But yeah, there's that charity link page, should be in the
You
description
can't
as well.
focus for shit, you ADD motherfucker.
Yeah, probably do have ADD.
I feel
It's
bad
what?
as John was saying that. I was just watching the cat in his background.
Yeah, Sasha is going knucking futz. Basically, I have been up since 10 with my other show. We recorded in the morning today instead of
What
yesterday.
show is that, John?
Dungeons and Debacles, my D&D podcast. And our DM got a migraine yesterday, so we recorded this morning. So I have been up all day. So Sasha has been going nuts. And then, of course, because I was awake and didn't have anything to do, I was on the floor with my dog, giving him scratches under his chin and cuddling with him. And Sasha said, "Oh my God, shit's happening." So
It's
Sasha
time.
has been going knucking flats.
Oh wait, do we have? Oh wait, you probably would have been busy, but do we happen to have some fishy fashy?
We do have Fishy Fashy, and in fact, we have a Fishy Fashy theme.
Okay,
Because there was
I'm-
shit happening this past
Shut up.
Wednesday.
Shut up!
shut up, shut up.
Shut up!
I'm old. You should listen to me.
You're Terry Pratchett, so I should listen to you.
Yes, yeah. I have been up for probably as longer than you. I'm older, and I have been running on adrenaline for a while. I'm losing it, I mean, shout out to all the people who say that's obvious, but
You're not
Is
going to stick around for Fishy
Viagra
Fashy?
I need to say fuck you, and I win Fishy Fashy because I gave him all the quotes and made up the 3 that were wrong, 2 that were wrong. Anyway, fuck off. Bye, everybody. See you later.
All right, Tom.
Later, Tom.
Bye.
Should have brought up fishy fashy earlier, but that's okay. But Tom, we love you as well. He can still play if he's still in the live chat.
I mean, Tom is left, so is the adrenaline he's running on his or that of children? You had to have heard of adrenochrome and that whole Q nonsense. It was a joke.
Tom
It was a bad
has
joke.
never been in the
Oh,
basement
yeah.
of a pizza parlor. Tom.
You know,
It was a bad
my mom-
joke, and I'm sorry.
I was going to say my mom used to say that if you have to explain a joke, it's not funny, but this is an exception to that.
This is the exception that proves a rule. So fishy fashy.
All right, so the theme this week on Fishy Fashy is right-wing celebrities, meaning actors who are fascists. So our 3 actors...
James Woods.
Yes.
I tried for James Woods.
Get soberboard then.
But I did not get James Woods because apparently he either deleted all of his fashy tweets or he's done nothing but retweet people talking about his old movies for the last week.
I just have all these names going through my head. Big Kane.
But Kevin Sorbo is one of them. Melissa
Who?
Joan Hart.
Kevin Sorbo, Hercules for Journeys, Hercules for Journeys, and Andromeda.
Mm-hmm. Melissa Joan Hart from God's Not Dead 2.
Oh.
And surprisingly, Rob Schneider.
No, Rob Schneider, not surprising. I heard him a
It
long
was
time ago
surprising
on
to
the-
me. I did not know that the guy who had no career and no acting talent was also
and
a
was in Deuce
douchebag.
Bigelow.
Douche
I've heard
Bigelow.
him.
Douche
Yes.
Boogaloo is what I call him now because
Douche
I've
Boogaloo.
learned.
Nice. Like.
No, I've heard him on Dr. Drew Carey's podcast before. He was saying libertarian and stuff.
Oh,
and
Drew Carey. Dr.
Drew Pinsky. Dr. Drew Pinsky.
Okay, I was like, Drew
Carey's
Carey?
Drew Carey's someone else. I don't know Drew Carey.
Drew
Must be
Carey's
liberal,
the
but-
guy who replaced Bob Thing
Bob
on
Newhart. No,
Barker.
Bob
Barker, yes. Yeah. Okay. Dr. Drew
So anyway.
is the
Loveline guy.
Loveline.
And worked with
there we go.
Adam, and it does podcast with Adam Carolla.
Worked with Adam
Carolla's
Carolla. There we go. Okay.
Yes.
Anyway, so K-Sorbs.
Boy, that's something to put on your resume.
I worked with Adam Carolla for 20 years on MTV.
Still does it. They do podcasts together.
No longer on MTV. All right, so K-Sorbs complained about Congress not giving people enough money.
Okay.
Rob Schneider, Douche Boogaloo, Douche Boogaloo, there we go, compared Google and Apple getting rid of Parlay to the Reichstag fire. And Melissa Joan Hart. The fuck was
This
that? Melissa
Cell
Joan Hart.
That was a hint.
Melissa Joan Hart complained that her children were not wearing face masks when they went out. So K-Sorbs complaining about Congress not giving people money. Rob Schneider comparing Google and Apple getting rid of Parler to the Reichstag fire. Melissa Joan Hart complaining about her children not wearing masks. So, we're going to start with our guests. We'll start with Joe. Which one do you think is the fake?
And as much as I want it to be the last one, I'm going to go with Sorbo.
You're going to say K-Sorbs. K-Sorbs.
I don't know what actually happened, but
K-Sorbs
I'm
has
sure
done
it's
a
still
lot
bad.
of tweeting this last week, so it's I had a lot to choose from.
I almost hoped it would have been the one that what do you call it, that Lucy Lawless tore into him for.
No, that was too popular. There's no way I could have gone for that.
Fair.
And our second guest, Marty.
I will go with one
K-Sorb?
also.
Okay. You also think K-Sorb did not complain about Congress. Okay. And our returning host, Yami.
I'm gonna go with Douche Boogaloo.
Douche Boogaloo.
That sounds like a Jeopardy question. I'll go with Douche Boogaloo for 500, please.
Yes, exactly.
Oh yeah, that's right. Alex Trebek died recently, like last month or something like that. Last year.
I don't know that we have a replacement for him yet.
No. Anyway.
But now it's your turn, Jonathan.
So that you won't get a sweep, I'm going to say with Melissa Joan Hart.
Okay,
Because
so
honestly, I do believe it's like K-Sorb, but I'm going with Melissa Joan Hart as my pick.
okay, so let's just go ahead and take them in order. Joe and Marty chose K-Sorbs. K-Sorbs tweeted, "Wait, So you mean to tell me people actually care about the politicians who just gave themselves a $50,000 bonus while Americans starve? Kevin Sorbo actually did complain about Congress not giving the American people the money they need to survive.
Wow. Because as I remember,
That's really out of character for him.
K.
Yes,
Sorbs is a fascist douchebag,
See, I
but
would
he
like
can
to
be
launch
really
a protest.
charismatic and personable when he tries.
I would like to be. I would like to lodge a protest because I don't believe that was him. I think someone hacked his account.
I mean, if at the very least, it had to be after Trump supported raising it to 2,000.
It was this past couple of days. It was in the last day or two. So yeah, technically. It was also after Trump supported a coup attempt.
Yeah.
And
That is
Marty,
surprising.
your objection will be validated as soon as you prove that somebody actually did hack his account.
Yeah, no, I think this is just because the current enemy is the United States government.
Mm-hmm.
It's Congress.
Yeah.
So,
Because-
they didn't let us take over.
Because
No.
yeah, I do believe that it was Trump saying, "I want the $2,000." that K. Sorbs went for it.
Because
But he's so charming and personable on Supergirl. I want to like him.
But like the reason why it makes me think I go over to Golden with Joe and like Marty, because like he has said in the past, I'd rather work hard for $1 a day than be given $2 a day by the government, which is a very it's a conservative talking point. Yeah,
Yeah, that is
and David's
a
right.
hard
This is
right
classic
wing talking point. Yeah, but
but this is like classic right wing populism as well.
mm-hmm. Fascists have no principles.
I mean, it was the Nazis that like created a welfare state for their people as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the majority of that was the continuation of the policies of the Weimar Republic, but yeah.
Speaking of the
Exactly, yeah.
Weimar Republic, Yami said that Rob Schneider was lying about the Reichstag fire.
Good segue!
And here's what douche Bigaloo Boogaloo said. And following at Twitter and at Facebook censorship lead, Apple and at Google are now removing other digital platforms at Parler for not censoring. I hope you can now see the virtual Reichstag building has been burned down with a picture of the actual fucking Reichstag fire.
I was worried that they were all true this week.
You know how hard it is to make up lies for these sometimes. Remember, I had to combine 3 tweets.
and yet we all swear that you had to make up Richard Spencer supporting and claiming that like Marianne
Joe
Williams
Biden or one of them.
Marianne Williams. That was way earlier in the primary. No way would Richard Spencer support Marianne Williams, and yet that was true. He did made
These fuckers have no ground floor.
No, they don't. But he did lied about like a Iman Chung tweet where Iman Chung said that shoplifters should be arrested, that's what he said. I guessed that one correctly. It was worse. He said shoplifters should be shot. So you can do it, and that was unbelievable. It was actually
so difficult though.
So what did Melissa Joan Hart actually say?
So Melissa Joan Hart actually was relieved by her children wearing masks. What she said was, as evidenced by how quickly so many of them got used to the mask wearing, especially in my home, it's become second nature, which is both sad and a relief. Melissa Joan Hart was in favor of people wearing masks.
Wow.
Man,
Yeah.
it's a New Year's miracle.
Your butt's all.
It's a January 6th miracle. We need a name for this day. The beer. Oh, what do they call it? The beer gut push.
Oh,
You know,
For those of you who
speaking
aren't
of-
familiar, go ahead, Jamie.
Oh, I was gonna say, speaking of the absurdity of like the world that I guess the right lives in at this point.
Mhm.
Like, I saw the most absurd like QAnon Channer post.
Oh, I did see that too.
Which one? Because there's a lot of.
They're all absurd.
Okay, you share one your first because like I only know of one.
The
So-
tased yourself to death with your own taser in the balls coup.
Oh.
This one is trying to deal with the cognitive dissonance, and I think I did share this one with Jonathan.
You mean aside from the Kevin Sorbo claiming that it was an Antifa false flag
Oh
dissonance
yeah.
post?
So besides that, this one's even more absurd, which is great. So the way that they are dealing with the cognitive dissonance of Trump said that he would win, but he also basically, soft condemned the
Possibility
coup
of
attempt.
elections.
So the way that they are squaring this circle in their heads, some of them, is a literal face-off style body swap between Biden and Trump, and that Biden is now actually Trump, and Trump is actually Biden.
Oh my god!
Wait, like
What?
So now
oh
is
my
he
god.
is he now a pedophile eating pizza?
So that's why he's sniffing all the hair.
No,
is 'cause
which
he's
one of
actually
them
Trump.
is the pedophile eating pizza? Because I mean, one of them
Yes.
hung out with Epstein, and one of them is a
One of
Democrat.
them?
It's hard to tell. I mean,
One of
which
them?
way does it go?
Are you sure just one of them?
Is it possible that like Epstein hang out with both Trump and Biden? I'm not sure.
I haven't heard the Epstein Biden claims.
I haven't
So I'm
seen.
guessing if there's any
if
kind
there
of
had
proof of
been
it, we
any
would have
link
seen it.
between Epstein and Biden, I'm certain that Fox News would have been blaring that for the last 5 years.
Freaky Friday, the fascist version. Nice one, Mithril.
Freaky Fashy flip.
I like the face-off comparison better because in
Yes.
reality that surgery would kill both of them.
Oh, so my favorite part. I'm
No.
not making the comparison.
No,
It
I like the
comes
idea
from
of
the
either
post.
Trump or Biden lying there on the ground, surrounded by dead cops, with the face of the other one, like out of bad movie, good movie with bad trans representation. Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs.
There you go.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
So
So,
Biden lying there on the ground, surrounded by dead cops, with Trump's face on his face.
So
I love that.
uh,
And Trump lying
They-
dead on top of the elevator.
the post literally uses the poster from 1997's Face Off in the post. So they invoked the comparison. I'm just repeating it.
You're just a messenger.
Yeah.
The links these fuckers will go to. Okay. Oh my god.
Do you guys mind if I bring something up? Because I
No.
kind of want to talk to. So Christy Asti has
Love
been
Chrissy Asti.
talking on her. Yeah, I do too. On her Twitter page, she's been talking about social media and suggested that maybe breaking up social media, like what could be done. And I almost think that this is, and there's a good post on Double Down News about the state of media. It's about 20 minutes long. It's really good. And I did post that to her Twitter feed. But I tend to think that, like, Trump and people like Sargon and the IDW crowd, I think that capitalist system, that these social media platforms are, they're made to make drama and to get these people. If they didn't exist, the existence of the platform it gives them,
Trump creates the platform creates Trump.
to a certain extent. I think he's a symptom of the problem, because I mean, if you look at like with even with somebody like ContraPoint, she grifts off of
She used to be
controversy.
so fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then she got popular.
She had brunch with like Sean Head and Armor Skeptic.
I don't even think that was it. I think it was just that she
Well,
got
that's a
big,
start.
she got popular, and she just realized that she could make a lot of money by shitposting.
Yes.
Well,
She went
well,
from
but I
leftist
think,
to shitposter, I think.
because one of the best YouTubers I think that I enjoy a lot is Dusty Smith, and he doesn't get half the traffic he used to when he was a right winger.
Yeah,
and a
Dusty has
shitposter.
gotten
And
pretty
I-
awesome. He acknowledged he was a
And I-
shitbag, and he changed.
But what's that done for his views? What's that done for his audience? Yeah, because that doesn't sell. And I tend to think that the problem is with capitalism and social media and the algorithms, that they create these people. I mean, there's a reason why all the IDW crowd, they're all millionaires, every single one of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's a grift. It is a successful grift, and it's, to me, it's literally, people have made money on all of this, but it's fomented. It's fomented all this violence. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it seems like to me that it's a symptom of social media in a capitalist.
the blinds.
I think Carl Massa has like, well, a lot of people already knew that outrage is like the biggest motivator of like spreading things virally, and like there's like a TED talk from like 2017 2016 of like people thinking that like but like with Twitter and Facebook, it's just like staying up like on your telephone like at 3 a.m. with your best friend. Okay, but the difference is like with that telephone, that was just like a utility use of communication. Facebook and Twitter, there's 600 engineers behind the telephone call trying to get you to stay on the telephone for as long as possible. And so, and Carl Massas knows this too, which is why you never will get any, like, you won't get the stink eye you'll get in personal one-on-one conversations, or in
But you'll get the virtual pink eye.
You get the you will get what you
stay on Facebook long enough, you get virtual pink eye.
There's that. But like the social media blocks that, because they know that's kind of social media stink eye from your friends and family or coworkers would stop you from like posting and staying on the sites and all. So they wanted the drama.
I don't know. I got accused of being a racist.
Oh, your family member. That's right.
My aunt accused me of being racist against Republicans.
Which is probably why I'm still seeing the same posts that was from like one of my friends from like 4 days ago. And it's just like, I know I like this person a lot, and I like this kind of content along with these keywords and stuff like that. But like, I'm still scrolling. Come on. It's like, show me something new. And I never see posts from like my family members or friends, or my really traditional conservative Mormon friend from high school.
See, I just, whenever somebody says something like that, I always send them into stroke territory by saying that that
Wait,
black
wait.
people can't be racist.
Stroke or stroke?
Stroke, not stroke.
Sorry. It occurred to me I had to do it. I'm ADD too.
Yeah, you're not alone because I just had Billy Squires song playing in my head. So if you don't,
one of my favorite things is when you talk about something, a statement or something that someone has done, being like queer, mystic, or whatever, and they're like, okay, but they're bi or they're trans, and it's like, okay, but that's not a response to what I said. That's just,
okay. That's
Well-
an additional statement that you've made.
yeah. Well, it sucks that it hurts them too. So let's deal with it.
All right. So Marty, you said you gave people strokes.
Oh.
I didn't stroke them. I have a partner. Thank you very much.
To be fair, the physical exertion of one could trigger the other, so it could be both.
Now I feel like we're in the middle of a Viagra.
Deadly
commercial.
hand jobs. Leftist murderers. We're Antifa.
Would that be hand Tifa? Okay, I'm gonna mute myself now.
Oh, that's how we have to end the podcast. That's perfect. Oh, that was beautiful.
Still recovering from a chest thing. I'm gonna die.
Oh, we just killed the world's okayest brother. So you were killing people, Marty. But before you killed us, you were killing other people.
Now I just have this vision of like my family members talking about hand Tifa.
And then you burst through the door saying, "Here's we go, the motherfuckers."
Now I kind of want to wear a Harrison Ford mask and all the vests and stuff, and then start beating up fascists, like dressed up as Han Solo.
Or Indiana Jones.
Hey,
Punch
so-
Nazis.
Hands.
Oh, well done, sir.
Oh, no, that works better.
That works better.
Do we try to be serious now after this point?
I think Julie, if she's listening, is going to kill us.
If she says
Julie has
anything, I'll
already
mute her.
blocked us
Fuck
all.
her. I mean,
And I'm just wondering how David feels.
oh, David has been left in the dust.
I'm feeling all of the stroking going on right now.
I don't think we even muted David once. We haven't
No,
put David in
no.
timeout.
I
put
think
someone-
I muted Marty once, and that was it.
No, what they did just in Heretic. You both put them in a timeout too.
I think you muted Joey. I think that was who it was.
Yeah.
Muted one person.
Try harder, David.
Give us a stroke, David.
What? I'm not going to start that whole thing again. Asking which one.
I forget. Did you finish your story before we got off track?
She
or-
didn't start her story.
that's there's nowhere to go from that now.
Something about giving people a stroke, and we just.
You were talking about racism involving.
Oh no, I know what I was talking about.
He just doesn't want to keep going because he cannot possibly match.
It's all downhill from here.
Yeah, no, I get it. I too prefer the build up to the downhill part.
When you can't live up to the foreplay, you just gotta let it go.
We're all just
Got
basking
to admit, this is the best
coital
hand
glow
job
of
I've
that
ever
conversation.
had. So, how about that local sports team, huh?
I think I'm going to go smoke a cigarette now.
How do we possibly segue from this shit? There's nowhere we can go from there.
If I do just suddenly bring up a topic, it would just be an abrupt change of topic, honestly.
See, now I could just say, you remember that time I killed social justice Alchemy? With one joke.
You gave us all a stroke. I mean,
does anyone know how the Washington former racial slurs are doing?
not well, apparently. I mean, I don't think they're in the runoff. They're not going to finish well.
It's January. It's already in playoffs anyway. So yeah, social media kind of like it forces us to be like more extreme in our positions to get at each other, like angry, create drama as well. So that's why
right.
social
We were talking about breaking up social media. That's where we were going to go.
Well,
Hey, Chrisiosity, is it possible to break up Facebook?
well, and she was saying kind of like they did the bells, like the into the baby bells back in the 70s and 80s, I think.
Mhm.
And I think that could be a good thing, but I don't think that's going to change anything. And there's already alternative media that are alternative social media sites, Mastodon being a huge one, and nobody uses it.
No.
So, I mean,
Would it be even feasible to break up Facebook in any real way?
I feel like the answer would be to split the way the company makes money, essentially to separate its social media influence with the ability to sell to companies everyone's information garnered from the social media.
So
However,
nationalize Facebook and stop selling people's information.
or at the very least stop selling people's information.
well, and I think that's what I was talking about. I think, and this is why in almost every platform that I've been on, I've tried to pick platforms that don't depend on a free app to support it, because there's a famous quote of if somebody's giving you something for free, then you are the product.
Mm-hmm.
And that is most of these apps.
Yeah.
And what they're selling is essentially outrage. And it reminds me of when I was
They give you
kid.
on there via outrage. They're selling you to the advertisers.
Yeah. Well, but the content, it reminds me of my grandfather used to listen to the police radio scanner, so he would go to every fire or drama that happened within 4 miles of us.
Was he trying to be Captain
Definitely still people
America,
that do
or
that.
did he just have a weird fetish?
He just had this thing about like going and seeing the drama, and I feel like that's what this is on a large scale. It's literally like, I've been noticing this on a couple of the video chat platforms like TikTok and Clapper. And like especially Clapper is like if
I haven't heard of
TikTok was
Clapper.
I had
Clapper
a friend who
is
got the clapper once.
there's
I
actually
mean, I've heard
there's
about,
actually
thick girls clapping, but I mean,
there's
and
actually
maybe thick
someone
boys. I don't know.
there's someone on Clapper that literally said, if it goes viral on Clapper, does that mean that
Got the clap.
got the clap?
You should take some penicillin.
Nice VD there. Got the clap.
But Clapper is kind of like the parlor version of TikTok. It's the
Nazi
free
TikTok.
speech.
Ooh.
Yeah, basically.
So it's full
but
of
there
blonde
are
girls saying even worse shit.
It's more like
but
the
there-
Gab version.
No, not quite that bad.
Okay.
Because
Wait, Gab is even worse
is
than
worse.
Parler? I thought Parler was the new version of Gab.
Parler is like, it's trying to be a respectable Gab.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas Gab is trying to be Chan culture, but in Twitter format.
Yep.
Ugh.
That's exactly
Ugh.
it.
Ugh. Those
Ugh.
words together made me throw up in my mouth a little bit.
But you know,
I mean, there's
what's-
eating ass, and then there's eating ass.
what I do love about all this is that because I went and looked at Carl Benjamin's his tweets, or I don't know what you call them on
Claps.
Parler.
It's flip flops.
But his
Clippity
tweets
clop,
on Parler, and like he was getting about 3,000 likes. I mean, if he was still on Twitter, he would be getting
Tens of
lot more
thousands.
than that. Yes. So I mean, his audiences went down significantly when they get ostracized to these corners of the internet. Really, where are they going to go? The only place that they really have left to go is Tor or the dark web, or because literally
Childporn.com.
That was 8chan.
Well, and but at the end of the day, I mean, I feel like that the only way that you're going to get social media to not be a dumpster fire is by taking that capitalist profit motive out of the algorithms.
Yeah, it has to be seriously moderated. I mean, what do they call it? The tragedy of the commons is actually the tragedy of unregulated access. When people can shit all over a public space, they will, but when you control it and keep it safe for everyone, then it's okay. You have to have moderators. You have to have people who can stop the fascists from fashing. Which is one of the last videos that ContraPoints made before she turned to shit.
Like a shitterella. She got in her little turd pumpkin and
yeah. And she rode the stem real hard. And she got a stroke.
But we're going back to the stroke. But just thinking about it just now, Mastodon really is like what I would call the closest thing to anarchist, because most instances do have like what I would call moderation that's not hierarchical.
Driven
local
moderation.
members.
Yes, and it's very Chomsky, I forget how he actually refers to it, but like accountable hierarchies.
Well,
And
the thing
I
is,
tend
if you
to
don't
think,
like the moderation, you can leave. If you don't like the lack of moderation, you can leave. So
well,
hopefully
and
it would work out.
even, but Gab itself is run on Mastodon,
Mm.
but Mastodon has literally um, made it so that all the instances are blocked. Like if you use their software, they Gab has forked it, so you can't use any of the apps that are out there for Mastodon. None of them will work with Gab.
Mm-mm. Yep, it'll automatically detect that they're running the Gab software, and
Yep.
all of the main ones will just refuse to connect. So you have to actually use basically a desktop computer or like a laptop. You can't
Huh.
use your phone.
So the people running
the other-
Mastodon have said Gab is no good.
Trash.
They're fascists.
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah.
like them.
So the other thing is not only do the app developers who make the like clients for Fediverse apps not support Gab, the people running the instances, there's a whole sub community that just refuses to federate. It basically refuses to allow their Gab users to engage with and communicate with and interact with any of the posts of their users.
So
So
it's
they
like Linux
do something called
in that way. Linux,
yeah.
Unix.
So they do something called defederation. So instead of if you join most of the even remotely left leaning instances, nobody from Gab can message you. Nobody from Gab can access your posts from their account. Nobody from Gab can reply to you. Nobody
so Gab
from
just
Gab can
can't
DM
see
you,
most of Mastodon.
and you can't see them.
Nice.
So it isolates them off into their own little Nazi corner of the internet that nobody really wants to touch. And it prevents them from being able to reach out and radicalize new members. And it ensures that they can't create harassment campaigns on their platform, at least not easily. They have to create alt accounts on other instances to be able to do anything, and they're just not going to do that. Not
if only YouTube,
en masse.
Twitter, and Facebook, and real life could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if only there was like some form of like
a baseball bat.
Yeah.
that you could stroke before you hit the people in the head.
If only YouTube had some system that allowed the people who run it to remove accounts when they promote fascist ideas.
Or the flat earth, or anti-vax, or
yeah,
it's
too bad that's literally impossible.
Yeah, that is a shame. That is a gosh darn shame.
I'll say this: the flat earthers, they don't do harm to anyone. The
yes,
QAnon
they
people
do. The flat earthers are part of the whole shebang.
The flat earthers, because who do you think they're saying is lying to you?
Yeah.
Okay, there's that. So that's spreading misinformation.
They are part of the whole conspiracy theory web, I would put it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, they're part of the whole. The Jews are coming. Like,
not all flat earthers are anti-Zionist nutbags, but there's a significant overlap, I would say.
It's an onboarding tool for that. So
what Jamie was saying about Gab, this is from The Verge. Some Gab content has crossed the line into criminal activity. The UK jailed 2 teenage neo-Nazis in June for posting terrorist propaganda. Florida police also arrested a user last month for posting racial threats and possessing a firearm as a convicted felon. And in 2018, a man posted.
Would that be Kyle Rittenhouse or? Oh wait, no. Yeah. He hasn't. He's free right now.
Yeah, no shit. And in 2018, a man posted an anti-Semitic Gab message just before killing 11 members of the synagogue in Pittsburgh.
Was he the one who said, oh God, like, fuck it, I'm not gonna be quiet about this? Something like that.
He said, I can't sit by and watch
That's
my
what
people
it is.
get slaughtered. Screw your optics, I'm going in.
Optics was what it was, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of thing that I think social media's algorithms have fomented. I think that this is just the shit boiling up to the top.
Well, I think it's always been there. It's just that we're now aware of it because it's public.
But they're constantly having to outdo each other. That's the thing.
Yes.
That is
more and more toxic.
You're right about that. I do think you're right about that.
And that's what the social media is fueling, the more extremes, as it were. Yes.
Because you have to be, you have to go out there and say, you have to go out there and do.
It's not just about being anti-Semitic. You have to go and shoot up the synagogue. Yeah.
I mean, Bronx has said, because the Bronx has been on some far right streams before, and that he sees that there are people that are for ethnostates, but there's distinctions that I just want people to move out and then we have our own ethnostate, while there are others that no, I want to kill them all. So there's the difference between just ethno-nationalists and exterminators.
I mean, maybe. I mean, just ask the ones that just want them to move out what they would do to the ones that choose not to.
True. There's that too.
So the question
I'm sorry, but Jordan Joan just brought up the Flat Earth Society once said they had followers around the globe, and that was hilarious.
And so, Marty, what was your point about
No, I agree, Marty, that they are radicalizing each other in a way they couldn't without the internet.
It almost seems like capitalism purifies the shit and intensifies it and pushes it to the top. And literally, people like Dave Rubin and his ilk, Tim Pool and Andy Ngo, they're all making.
You're absolutely right. I think that capitalism is the driving force. Because I think the root cause of most of this shit is the fact that people are suffering. And they want to find a cause for that suffering. Mm-hmm. And so you have these anti-Semite assholes lashing out at random Jews. You have these racist motherfuckers lashing out at blacks. You have... They're lashing out all sorts of directions. And the result is Trump, who blames all of them.
There's, I don't know if you know the picture that I'm talking about, but there's almost, it reminds me of there's this fat cat sitting at a table, and there's all these issues going on around the table, and everybody's paying attention to those issues while he's taking all the resources and everything. And I feel that's what's going on here.
That seems like an old picture.
Yeah,
of different fat cats with different distractions. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. and I think that is right on the money. I think that's what but that's what the Twitter and Facebook, that's what they do. They funnel this hatred, and it's funny now. They're all going, since they banned Trump. Mm-hmm. Now they've seen the light.
What? No.
and they're starting to moderate. Well, and that's the thing too. One of the things,
starting to moderate the wrong shit. I'm getting ants.
Well, they were always moderating the wrong shit.
I think it's because their moderation, they try to do it with
bots. They're not hiring people. Yeah. People cost money.
No. Exactly. And at the end of the day, It's about being as cheap and accessible
If we
to
want
where
a
they can
decent
make more money.
internet, we're going to need like one person moderating every internet for every 1,000 users, if that.
Yes. There's a lot of people that like need employment too, or some kind of like income as well. So it just
I think a lot of people would volunteer for that
money.
shit if they
That's
had,
true, too.
guaranteed housing and food.
Oh
and so
yeah,
on.
yeah.
A lot of
You
people
know-
would love. I mean, you look at every Facebook group, there are volunteer admins and mods.
That's
I am
true.
absolutely certain that if people had guaranteed food and housing and so on, that the internet would be a safe place.
Well, and I do want to make a distinction because the word grifter has gotten so wide. Somebody like Steve Shives creates
Are you
content.
saying that he spreads his thighs really wide?
No.
Is that why?
He is a content creator. He makes something. I think there are these people that I'm talking about. They literally are making money off of nothing.
Yeah.
But hate. And
Yeah, like oh god. I Don't Speak German is a new podcast. It's like been up for about a year now. It's a guy who doesn't I don't want to say nothing, but his main hobby is listening to far right podcasts. And I Don't Speak German is him talking about those podcasts. So, one of the things you just struck a spark with me was one of the podcasts. Oh, I hate this name.
The
Daily Showa.
Daily Show. Yes, right. Mike Enoch's podcast.
Yeah, I hate the name because it's supposed to be a pun off the Daily Show, but it's mocking the Holocaust.
Yeah.
The Showa. But anyway, it's like every day these guys get on, do their podcast, and just talk shit for like 2 or 3 hours, and that's all they do. They do this, what we're doing, for every day, and they make
they're not
a
funny.
shit ton of money.
Yes,
Yeah,
and they're not funny.
they do this, but profitable.
Yeah. They do this for a living.
It might be overly generous to refer to this as funny. I like it.
No, Marty's. We had a lot of fun with Marty's stroke job.
Stroke job is so much dirtier than the words we actually use for it.
Stroke joke. But yeah, I mean, it's and the thing is, at one point, the guy from I Don't Speak German said that it sounded like they were just tired of what they were doing. Like they would just get on there and they would do it because they had to. And it sounds like fascism is just exhausting. And not fun.
Yeah. Actually,
and I'm glad of that because fuck fascists, okay? You know, they can all die in a fire.
But I think it's like you're onto something. As like I think in Diske mentioned that in his In Your Studios video of like how the writer cast normal about Gabe, because like Gabe goes to these places like 4chan, 8chan, or these Reddit places, some of which have probably been banned now because of like the events on Wednesday, and they get angry, but then they don't have a release for that anger as well as either. Yeah, they can probably find a feminist, a blue hair feminist who like make fun of, but then get blocked or lose their account, and then have to create an alt, and they just like have no filter for that anger and just get frustrated and tired constantly. To some point, and maybe there's a boiling point like events on Wednesday.
Or
so, yeah.
the Oklahoma bombing, or
Mhm.
every other
Charlottesville.
right-wing fascist piece of shit.
Well, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I feel like we got away from what Marty was saying a little bit. Yeah,
Well,
I was curious to hear
Back
the
to
input.
hand jobs. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, I really enjoyed the last thing Marty gave me. So
So Marty,
well, there's a certain part of me that's conflicted because I am on a lot of different social media. And especially lately, I've been on both TikTok and Clapper, and I literally like I've realized that, like, especially with Clapper, because there's what I was going to say about Clapper, it's the parlor of TikToks, and so there are a lot of chuds on there, and basically I take the piss out of them. When they comment on my stuff, they'll say, "Oh, you're a dude," and I'm like, this morning I was playing dueling banjos in the background when I went off on one of these guys, and I actually have some really bad teeth, and I have a little hat that I like to wear when I do.
And you could give them the most deadly hand job.
Did they have a stroke?
Oh, and he has a matching hat.
This one, my former manager, who's actually a Trump supporter, and blocked one of my other coworkers because he posted something positive about Trump, and he was complaining like, "Why does this get posted?" And like Trump stuff gets like to take it down. But he actually is a diver and went to the Bahamas, so this was freshly made and it's actually wet when he got on the plane. And he knows that I love hats, so he actually gave me this one. So yeah.
Oh my God! Did you guys see? They arrested some of the people from the riot in the airport?
There have been a few who've been arrested, and their arrest photos, they look very unhappy.
No, they have video of them arresting 2 women in an
Oh,
airport in Washington, like National Airport.
oh, I did not see that.
Oh my God! It is chef's kiss. I mean, like, because they are not the troopers that you would think they are. They're screaming.
I did not think they were troopers at all. I thought they were fucking Karens.
I thought they would love the police though, but like, oh, wait a minute, someone did actually say this got on the national.
Fuck the police coming straight from the overground.
What they're doing, the police are shooting at us. They should be shooting at the BLM protesters.
Yeah, exactly.
There are brown people over there. Why? I need to speak to your manager.
Well, Jonathan is right though. There literally have been people that have said that. I mean, it's not even parody. They are fucking serious. These people are caricatures of themselves. I mean, fucking comedy, especially after my stroke comment, comedy is dead, I
guess. Comedy is alive and well. You resuscitated that bitch.
We won't ask.
Not all strokes are fatal.
I mean, sometimes after a stroke, you can't talk for a little while, but you recover.
Know the symptoms. If I were in a more
I am
filthy
so happy
mood,
you guys are in my life. I just want to say that.
Oh, what is that anagram? Is it stop or is it?
I was gonna say if I was in a more dirty mood, I would make up a anagram for it.
Croats.
I think.
I don't think stroke has any real anagrams, but
No, there's an
Stroke
anagram.
symptom anagram.
Yeah, there is actually an anagram for
okay,
someone
for
to,
stroke
like,
symptom if you're going to go fancy, but for
It's
stroke,
fast.
It's fast.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Very.
You give me a stroke,
Face
I can
drooping.
guarantee it's going to be fast. Yeah.
Oh my fucking
Drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulties. Time to call 911.
Hey, my
You don't
girlfriend
even-
was giving me a hand job, and I got this funny feeling downstairs.
I had this tingle.
It was like a sneeze, only better.
Sir, that's a different kind of stroke. Just go to bed.
The
Just
blood
go
is
with that.
rushing.
Well, that's where
normally,
we
apparently.
were, but we made a mess. I can't go back. Oh. So anyway, that local football
This is the
team.
kind of show that happen we have when we have you on. Even though it was like Marty that was like even though it was Marty that came up with the stroke comments.
I don't know if y'all know this, but I maintain an extremely minor friendly presence on Twitter where I advertise this show.
Yes.
I think this is entirely in keeping with what they would expect. Yes?
Sure.
Just nobody tell Julie to watch the replay. Because I'm close enough she could come hurt me.
That's true. And Mithril. David might be too far away.
Mm.
Strike up the band. Yeah, I don't know. What else to say after this? Yes, I
don't know. I'm completely fucking lost
I'm-
again.
What do you say? I'm sorry.
Only when it happens too soon.
It can only take a minute. Who told you that?
What I have planned will only take 2-3 minutes tops.
Broken my brain for the day. Glad I didn't have to be productive after this.
Well, it's a Sunday. You shouldn't have to be productive. This
I was
is
thinking
one of
of
the
like
days the capitalists say production is not necessary.
No, this is one of the days.
I would
the
say they don't
unions
do that
said-
anymore.
Yeah, then we killed unions. So
Mm.
yes.
yeah.
You know that is, to be honest with you, like I've questioned if I would move back to the States, and one of the biggest reasons is that I will never move back to the States is because of how strong unions are here in comparison to in the States.
I believe it.
My job in America, if
We
if
don't
I was
have
pissed off about
unions
something,
in the States. We have political entities that call themselves unions.
We have
I live
police
in
unions.
Portland, so I do want to suggest that we have unions.
No.
actually.
not in the same, not that actually work.
Well, I
and
mean,
here
we kind
here's
of
the
do
thing.
in Portland, but it's an extremely we have an extremely active political body, an extremely labor-oriented political mindset in the Portland metro, and that's the only reason why we're just all revolutionary radicals. Basically, we're all
The white union.
settling for this instead of just straight up anarchism, because it's a starting point. And that is kind of just how Portlanders are at this moment in time politically. But it is true that most of the US, there's just no unions.
Mm. Yeah. Especially in
So
the South.
sad. It was so sad living in Wisconsin, just watching that slowly erode away, because this state used to be such a bastion for unions and
The Rust
union
Belt.
thought. Oh, it's so sad just seeing that just peel away. I remember when what do you call it? None of the fast food used to be open on any of the holidays, and all of that.
Whereas here in the South, well, we've always had this strong feeling that black people aren't people.
Yep.
And every time a union tried to go on strike, they brought in black people.
Oh yes, that's right.
So that's how capitalism does capitalism.
Yeah, there's a strong tendency in certain parts of the country to respond to union organizing with very, very racially motivated violence.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
long and storied history. There can be no economic justice without social justice. There can be no social justice without economic justice.
Hey Marty, why don't you tell us some positive things about what having a union is like?
Well, here's the thing, though. I mean, like the difference. Like I was in the AFT, which is the American Federation of Teachers, and
It sounds kind of gay. Actually.
Totally.
Like the hot librarian trope. I mean, just like a whole lot of them all together.
Now I have that Van Halen song in my head, but
I'm sorry, I'm not paying attention to you anymore. I just have a wave of porn. Hot teachers. Sorry, go on, Marty.
Well, but the difference between how my membership manifested, it was just basically I was paying my dues, and I never was involved with the union, and there was never a push to get me involved. And here, like literally every year, they have a delegates conference, and you go to this conference, everybody's invited. I go every year. I've been delegate. I've created policy that's changed my actual field in this country, and the policy that the union follows. So you can really take an active role in making policy that gets to higher levels. And like there are 60 million people in this country, and I think like one of the unions has like 6 million members. So I mean, like it's the amount of people that are covered in unions, and the unions here are much stronger, have much more of a bargaining position. Although you do have the Tories chipping away at some of the worker rights, but there's so much. It's so much
Margaret
stronger.
Thatcher. Sorry.
Yes. Well, and that's the thing. I think, like, when you have a strong union, if you look at the statistics, it's always more better wages for the workers. But that's probably the main reason why I would never live in the States again, because I have so much participation and I can get deeply involved in a movement, and that wasn't my experience in America at all when I was in the AFT. So
also I want to I want to step in really quick since we were talking about Maggie Thatcher, and it's just, I think it's unfair to shit on her right now, especially with how much better she got in the middle of the 2010s. I guess that joke didn't land on everybody.
I didn't hear it, but I will let you explain it.
Oh, Margaret Thatcher died in 2013.
Okay.
Yeah, she used to be real bad, but then she got a lot better. I now understand that her gravesite is a gender-neutral toilet.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. 100%.
Similar for what's his nuts? Ronald Reagan.
Yes, and Marley
Oh, yeah.
shows the picture of Margaret Thatcher Graves, one of the few gender-neutral bathrooms in the UK. I mean, it's like that other meme where it's like my if I die, my parents will think that I'm off in like heaven, seeing my grandparents and my great aunts and uncles. With like, when really I'm in hell, like the Space Marine from Dune, battling all the demons and saying, "Where's Margaret Thatcher?"
I'd rather laugh with the sinners than cry with the saints. The sinners have much more fun. You know, only the good die young.
But like Boris Johnson is following the Troy tradition, as March Thatcher starved miners in the 80s, and Boris Johnson is now starving miners in the UK.
I mean, the British people, and like especially Northerners, the hatred of Margaret Thatcher is so epic. This is an example.
Mm-hmm. Better safe than so. Oh, that's
is that Van Halen?
Yeah, that's Van Halen. That's Peter Cushing, played by Peter Cushing.
Yeah, Grand Moff Target.
Yes, from the Dracula, the Hammer horror Dracula film that starred Christopher Lee as Dracula.
He's Peter Cushing in there. No, that doesn't scan.
No, that doesn't work. No,
it'd be Keter pushing in that steak.
Yeah.
You're muted.
Now what?
I don't know. I've gotten lost in a rabbit hole of Margaret Thatcher hatred. Oh my god! I mean, the British,
the iron grip lady.
Yeah.
Only in this podcast, in this particular one, and in this show,
Mike Pence would call her mother. Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh. Whew.
I got the hiccups.
You laugh so much, you got the hiccups, and so hard. So what now? I could bring up another topic, but then it'll start another conversation, or it might be a question.
Go ahead.
I don't know.
Yeah, go for it. We got nothing.
Steve Shives does say that Arnie Kinston is bullshit, but we already said that Steve Shives does enough practice anyway.
Yep. I didn't watch his latest Ask Away. How was it?
The Ask Away was fine because I didn't ask him a question too challenging to him, so he wasn't too annoyed by me. Hey, there was a conservative that was in the live chat that was very interesting, and once he said climate change was a hoax, that's when he got a 5-minute timeout.
Oh
yeah, no, there were two conservatives that showed up.
Yeah,
it was really weird
because one was a Joffrey. Well, I say one was would have been a Joffrey easily. The other one was kind of close to that as well. But no.
I was engaging with the one until the climate change. I was like, oh, this person's not worth talking to.
Yeah, exactly. But the no, on the last read away where Dana Cole and Steve Jobs were covering chapter 5 of the Dispossessed. I'm loving the book, by the way. I'm loving it. Shivak is a great character. I like it. But Steve Jobs has said, "Look, anarchism is bullshit because it's unsustainable if it was decided well on stage." When challenged by that by Dana Cole, is like Steve says that, like, well, there's the reason why it's unsustainable because there's always going to be disputes they can never resolve, that two people can never resolve. The only example he give is a very weak example is two guys own one TV and they can't settle of who actually owns the TV.
Obviously, I own the TV.
Well, and this is like what really drove me to stop listening to his askaways and stuff like that, because there was a couple of them ago where he got pissed off at you, Jonathan, and
well, you do ask really shitty questions, Jonathan.
Well, the thing is, though, what he was talking about anarchism is the same shit that douchebag that you guys had on. I'm sorry. I think his name was Adam.
Anna Benowitz.
Oh, good. I was gonna say, I hope you're not talking about
Aaron's
Rainstopper,
a nice guy.
because he's like here.
It's Aaron Rabinowitz, not Adam.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I gotcha.
I'm having a mental block because that was just that the thing that pissed me off so much was basically he repeated these anarchist tropes and he didn't know what anarchism is or is about, or like the basics, like even the basics, just these stupid anarchist tropes that are just so easily knocked away. And I feel like that's exactly what Steve did, because there are plenty of forms of anarchism that aren't again like if you're talking about the Noam Chomsky kind of anarcho-syndicalist type of anarchism, it isn't devoid of hierarchies, but the hierarchies they have a responsibility, and
the hierarchies
they're
have to justify themselves.
Yes.
Yeah. Authority. Any form of authority needs to consistently prove itself valid, basically, to justify itself to the people that it has authority.
Authority is not assumed to be justified, but has to demonstrate that it's justified.
Which, interestingly enough, this specifically, anarcho-syndicalism is the perspective that I hold. And I think it's it is Jonathan's too, which is funny. We're the ones that argue with him
my
most.
brother. Anarcho something. The one I can't pronounce is the one.
I thought you were
Anarcho-Posadism.
Steve got his name essentially by he's done skits and stuff, but he got his name essentially because of anarchism. I mean, not anarchism, because of atheism. And to give such a like straw man kind of argument in batting back Jonathan, it soured me quite a bit. I'm not gonna lie.
One of the things that, I love Steve. He's a great guy. One of the things that frustrates me a little bit with his addressing of anarchism is he doesn't really understand anarchist theory, and that's fine. Which, like I was saying earlier, like he does a lot of anarchist praxis, ironically.
But
like,
if you don't know, don't piss on it.
Yeah, but that is a little frustrating. That he
Steve
has
always
an
strikes
understanding.
me as more thoughtful than as a thinker. As in, he's careful and he's kind, but not a philosopher. And my dog is letting me know that we need to wrap this up.
Okay. Well, anyway, I was gonna say one of the things that I appreciate about Steve is that he always seems to make a strong point of making sure the people who need hearing get heard by him. And that doesn't necessarily always mean that he's going to be like a theory nerd, like some of us are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I think is chill.
See,
From
that
now
was
on,
really
Jonathan
sweet.
is a fairy nerd.
See, that was really lovely, Jamie. I was gonna say I love him because he created Jack and Toby Benson.
His wife
Oh,
actually
yeah.
played Toby
Yeah.
Benson.
Jack and
My
Toby.
boyfriends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Attracted Toby as like boyfriends. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Wesley wants to like attention and go out for a walk. So I think let's go to like end the show. Marty, don't you have something to plug?
Yes, you can join me.
Wow, way to
Way
talk.
to ask about bottom surgery, dude. That's not cool.
Actually, I just did a TikTok about something about that. It was about the questions you should never ask.
Yes, you showed me that, I think.
But yes, I am doing the Tea Party on a regular basis. I can't say it's all that good yet, but I figure if I plug away,
It is
it'll get
all
better.
that good yet. Just gonna say it.
Well, thank you, but
Yeah, just keep plugging. It will eventually grow, and then things will move much smoother in the future.
And
That
you'll
sounded-
get this burst of growth. And I'm going to stop with the sex puns.
Oh, I'm not. Yeah, no.
They're just gonna keep coming.
As you find yourself growing, you'll be able to fit more and more in it, and things will just move along more quickly.
And you'll eventually reach
more
what they call the
fun
goat
for
seat.
everyone. Yeah.
I don't want to know what John just said. I don't want to know.
Goatsy
No, you
is a picture of a prolapsed anus.
I already know what those are.
so it's a picture of Peter Coffin.
Wow.
We actually named Cork Box. We actually named Peter often.
Oh no, that's Annie and Go. Peter
that's
Coffin is Tough Girl.
So I am Summer and a Geek on Twitch. I stream Twitch quite a bit, where I stream me reading political articles and essays and books and political theory, as well as gaming and other stuff. So follow me there. Follow me on Twitter to know when I go live on Twitch. And I have a YouTube channel where I re-upload my political readings onto like YouTube from Twitch. And keep watching those spaces as well. I might have a podcast. I have to work on that yet. That's under my pitches. And so, John,
You've done very
really quick.
well, actually, this past couple of weeks of like doing uploading content like every day. I think, Geek.
yeah, but happened last week. But Jamie, you were about to say something.
Yeah, no, I did cut Marty off before she got a chance to plug her like Twitch and YouTube.
Oh, I'm sorry, Marty.
Yeah.
Are you saying, Jamie, that you cut off my plug?
Yeah, no, I cut you off and prevented you from getting to plug. Yeah.
Your Annie don't speak.
Yes, I'm gonna mute myself. No, I was just gonna say that I'm doing the Tea Party 3 days a week. One's gonna be a gaming night, and then the other two are gonna be basically Wednesday and Saturday. Or yeah, Wednesday and Saturday, because you guys moved to Sunday. I've taken Saturday.
Oh.
And because I didn't want to overlap. But
Yeah, you would have stolen
So
our twos of viewers.
well, see, that's what's great about this show. If you get into the show, then you end up being on the show, and then you have a stroke. But
Yeah, we're red versus blue, circa 2002.
So yes, Marty Abernathy does have a Twitch as well. It's Marty Abernathy, the same thing spelled, but it's probably also your TikTok as well. Marty Abernathy spelled the same way.
TikTok, Twitter, just about anything that you could. That's what I was saying earlier today. That it's just most of my social media accounts. I've all made them all into Marty Abernathy.
Mm-hmm.
Makes it easier.
John, I'm really curious as to what your Ruby's going to look like, but I know it's going to be disappointing.
My what?
I was making a red versus blue joke.
Oh,
I actually never ever watched Red versus Blue, so the
Dan,
only thing I know about Red versus
Hmm?
Blue is the H Bomber Guy video about Ruby.
And I just had a
Oh.
butt plug going through my brain.
So, do you have anything you want to plug, Joe, besides your butt?
Not really. I need to get up the motivation to write an essay or an essay that will become a video about my job and about how it interacts with my beliefs in that, but I'm nowhere close to there.
About your job and how you lost it after going on this show.
Well, I mean, if you're going to wear a shirt calling yourself the world's okayest brother, you have to be prepared to lose a job.
Oh.
So John Brumman, you host another podcast.
I don't host it, but I participate in Dungeons and Debacles. It's a D&D podcast.
What's that?
It's a D&D podcast. I am currently playing a Dragonborn cleric of Bakhmut. And we are fighting to prevent the release of an ancient red dragon from the abyss.
Oh, that reminds me, I'm so proud of my D&D group.
You just have to make it all about yourself. That's why you're only okay.
It's so good. It's so good. What do you call it? The NPCs test them with stopping reinforcements coming to siege the city that they're protecting, and the way that they did it was one of the players had seen some Peaky Blinders and decided to stop the reinforcements coming by starting a general strike in the city that was going to reinforce the other city. It's like, oh, it's so good. I'm so proud.
Jamie, do you have anything you want to plug besides Marty?
No, you already fulfilled mine. So I'm on Twitter at JamJarJam. I'm on this show sometimes when I am. No, that's pretty much it at the moment. Yeah.
You don't want to plug ways for people to give you money?
Oh, I mean, sure, yeah. If y'all enjoy any of the things that I do, I have a Patreon over at
I've linked it in the chat.
There you go. Yeah.
Patreon.com/slightyflighty1.
And I also have a Ko-fi for one-time donations at ko-fi.com/slightlyflighty1.
And if you really need, she can build you a computer that runs on one of those Linux things.
Yeah, I can build you a custom operating system like I do for my computer.
What did you say your Twitter was again? I don't think I had
Jam
it.
Jar.
Jamjar_jam.
That's
All
where
right,
I go
and with
when
that,
I need
we will
creator
call it-
ideas.
Let's see.
What are we going to call it?
Stay hydrated, stay medicated, stay fucked if